You know that feeling in your gut, the one that says, something's coming, and you better be ready for it? In 2007, I didn't just feel it, I embraced it. The real estate market was teetering on the edge, but instead of standing still, I did what any entrepreneur would do. I sold everything. I sold everything. Up until that point, I'd been a master at working the system. Nina loans were my bread and butter. Buy the property, move in for 6 months, get the owner-occupied rates, flip it, rinse, repeat. I had a local portfolio of rental properties that was thriving. But you don't get gut feelings for nothing. The market was starting to crack, and I wasn't about to be the guy left holding the bag. So I sold the local portfolio by the skin of my teeth. There was even a short sale in there, which, let's be honest, wasn't pretty, but I got out. And when I say I converted everything into international real estate, I mean everything. Juan Dolio in the Dominican Republic became my new playground. It was the kind of deal you dream about. The beaches, the investors, the developments. I was building something international, and for a while, it was like I was on top of the world. The kind of top where the air is thin and you're thinking, I did it. It was that good for a while. Standing on the beaches, watching the developments rise, I thought I had dodged the worst of the US housing market collapse. People were losing everything back home. But here I was, thinking I had cracked the code, that maybe, just maybe, I'd found the ultimate loophole. But life isn't a straight line. It's more like a series of waves. And this wave was about to come crashing down. The cracks that had shown up in the US market started to mirror themselves in my international ventures. Deals began to fall through. Mismanagement by others reared its ugly head. And suddenly, the sandcastle I had built started washing away with the tide. Investors vanished, the funds were mishandled, and before I knew it, my bank accounts were frozen. So there I was, staring down at the wreckage of everything I'd built. My finances in a free fall, wondering what the hell just happened. It was like hitting the reset button, but this time, I didn't have the cheat codes. No investors to back me up, no properties to flip. Just me, my family, and a whole lot of uncertainty. For the next 2 months, while I scrambled to land a job, I picked up a gig delivering pizzas for Pizza Hut in my 2006 Acura TL. Now, if you've never driven a luxury car to deliver pizzas, let me tell you, it's a humbling experience. You pull up to someone's house, drop off their large pepperoni, and all the while, you're thinking, if they only knew the deals I used to close. But you don't say anything. You just take the tip, drive away, and remind yourself why you're doing it. Delivering pizzas wasn't just a job, it was a sacrifice. It was about providing for my family, proving to myself that I could keep moving forward no matter how far I'd fallen. Every shift was a reminder that, yeah, life had knocked me down, but I wasn't staying down. Not for long. After 2 months of driving pizzas around town, I landed the job at Verizon Wireless, and that's when things started to turn around. I walked into that call center with a point to prove, and it wasn't just about getting a paycheck. It was about rebuilding, brick by brick. And rebuild, I did. At Verizon, I didn't just work. I dominated. I wasn't there to punch the clock. I was there to make my mark. In less than a year, I doubled the call center's phone sales. I wasn't just closing deals, I was crushing them. I earned Diamond Club status, which wasn't just an award. It was proof that I still had what it took to be the best. Every sale felt like a piece of the old me coming back. But Verizon wasn't just about the numbers. It was a place where I learned how to apply my entrepreneurial spirit within a corporate system. I wasn't running my own company anymore, but I was learning how to run within someone else's company. And that was a whole new level of hustle. So I made the switch, moving from the call center to the store. And just like before, I wasn't just there to coast. I was there to make an impact. Over the next few years, I didn't just improve the store's sales. I doubled the district's sales. It was the same hustle, just on a bigger scale. The same drive to be the best, to prove that no matter where you put me, I was going to dominate. What I loved most about Verizon, though, was that it reminded me of who I was. The real estate collapse hadn't changed my drive. It had refined it. I wasn't just the guy who lost everything. I was the guy who could build it all back. It was while I was working at Verizon that I started to think about the future, not just my own, but the world's. Every day, as I crushed phone sales and district goals, a new idea was taking shape in the back of my mind. I couldn't stop thinking about energy. The collapse of my real estate empire had opened my eyes to the fact that we were still stuck using coal to power our lives, and it didn't sit right with me. Coal was dirty, outdated, and harmful. There had to be a better way. By the time Lucas was born with his reactive airway disease, the mission became crystal clear. Watching him struggle to breathe made me realize that this wasn't just about the planet. It was about saving lives. I wasn't going to sit by and let my son breathe in the toxins that coal was pumping into the air. That's when the vision for Solar Tech became more than just an idea. I was going to build a company that would take on coal and the monopoly utility companies. Solar Tech wouldn't just be about selling solar panels. It would be about empowering people to break free from the old energy systems that were choking the planet. But that's a story for Chapter 6.